Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. This show is brought to you by DraftKings. We're live in Las Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. What a day yesterday was. What a weekend this is shaping up to be. Day one, of course, of the Masters wrapping up as we speak. And, one guy who struggled to pick it back up this morning was a guy that I talked about earlier in the show who I wanted to bet in the top 10 market. And that was Patrick Reed, who was 2 under when the show started. He did not finish so strong today, Pauly. Bogey, double bogey to close out. So that guy was affected. Typically, again, the 8 of the last 10 winners in the Masters, they played that Thursday late afternoon round into the Friday morning round. Did not go well for him. Højgaard, I believe, is in at 5 under. And Homa is still at 4 as we speak.
No, Homa just had an eagle.
He did?
Yeah. Homa's 6 under now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're showing it live right now.
Yep.
Okay. All right, we'll talk NBA here as David Thorpe, the coach, joins the program now with the True Hoop podcast. He's on the Progressive guest line. Coach, good to talk to you again. How you been?
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
Doing really well.
Good, Coach.
What'd you make of that matchup last night and the end result with the Knicks beating the Celtics? And then for New York's sake, what their prospects might look like in the Eastern Conference playoffs?
I mean, I think they're capable of winning 4 games in a series, maybe 1 series. I don't know that they can beat Boston when it matters. If they're, it's a fight right now in the East to not be a 4-5 because then you got to face that green monster when the games really matter in the second round. What an interesting last couple of games is going to be this weekend. But New York's, super tough. They can really ratchet up their defense with Hartenstein and Anunoby. The way DiVincenzo shoots, Brunson obviously is an incredible bucket getter, probably an all-NBA level player. And I think Boston's just chilling. They know what they've got. I think they're young guys, and they're playing for a G League championship. I think those guys will be playing. They just played last night in Oklahoma City, lost a game to clinch it, and I think they'll be playing this weekend some, so the Boston regulars can rest up for the playoffs.
Okay, very good. We haven't had a chance to talk to you. I'm interested to get your thoughts on Milwaukee because they were 17 games over with Griffin. Now they're under 500 with Doc, but they did say they feel that they're made for the playoffs because the game slows down and they're big and physical. What do you think of that assessment, and if you think Milwaukee can get their act together come playoff time?
I certainly don't believe anyone who's saying we're built for anything in the postseason when their regular season team's not doing so good. Mm-hmm. They're not going to say the truth and say we're really struggling here, but that's what they are. Quite frankly, Adrian Griffin was a mistake to hire for a team that was trying to win a championship immediately, just because it's hard as a first-year coach. Darvin Ham learned that same lesson in L.A., and hiring Doc was even a worse mistake. Just the reality of the business that we're in. I don't know why they thought he had some kind of magical wand, given his track record the last decade or so. They've created the mess they have. I'm worried about Giannis. We're actually writing about him this coming week at True Hoop. Worried about Giannis. And the calf strain is a concern. Doctors will know better than me, better than I, whether or not there's a chance for something more severe if he keeps playing. But either way, this is a team that just has not been connected for quite a while. And I definitely think they could lose in the first round no matter who they play.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So based on that statement then, I don't see them as a true contender in the East. This Giannis injury is certainly not going to help out. How would you rank the teams in order that could give either the Celtics a series or maybe even potentially beat them in the East?
I just wrote an article about this week, guys. The only team I think has a chance to beat them is Philly if Embiid plays. He's beyond extraordinary. What Jokic was doing for a couple of years was almost unprecedented, and yet Embiid was better than him this season. I thought Jokic deserved the MVP last year. I do not think Jokic deserves it this year. Embiid can't win it, but would have been the unanimous winner without question. He was destroying the league, and he is the cheat code that can knock down Boston. Doesn't mean they will, but I give Nick Nurse a ton of credit. He got some personal votes for me for Coach of the Year for keeping the team together without Joel and building a system that helped Embiid have the best season we've seen in a long time from a big man.
More on this article you wrote at TrueHoop.com with this pecking order. So obviously you got Denver, Boston, Denver 1-2. And you just said about what you think of Philadelphia. But where you at with Dallas and even the Clippers? What's your pecking order now outside of the big two? Who can maybe surprise and your pick to win the title if it's not the big two?
Yeah, I think I don't remember how many teams now. I wrote it a few days ago, and I'm getting old, guys, so I forget fast. But Dallas is certainly a team that we have to take seriously. I actually was getting a lot of criticism. I wrote an article way back in February. I think it was titled "Dallas Won the Trade Deadline." I didn't title it, but that was what I wrote. Getting Gafford and PJ Washington seemed to be like universally panned for some of the assets they gave up for them. I don't think people were watching Washington and Charlotte. I was. I watched everybody. Gafford's terrific. PJ, I think, is coming around, although I thought he'd be better than what he's been. Let's hope that for Dallas' sake, I hope he figures it out better. He's got to shoot well. But Luka's probably the best lob passer in the league and just didn't really he's not throwing lobs to Dwight Powell and Maxi Kleber. Derek Lively's a rookie and was doing well. Gafford's a significant upgrade. He's a much better rim protector with experience, not necessarily playoff experience. I think they've kind of figured out some things with him and with PJ, and the role players get their role. Derek Jones Jr. and Hardaway. Luka is otherworldly, and Kyrie is playing drama-free right now. We haven't seen a peaceful Kyrie in a long time, guys. But that's what we're seeing right now. So given those two playmakers in the backcourt, the way they can stretch the floor at the rim because of Gafford's ability to jump to 13 feet and catch a lob and rim protect on the other end. I'm not the biggest Jason Kidd fan, but we can't argue with what he's put together lately is a serious threat to Denver. I would favor Denver to win, but they'd have to play really well. And without that bench, there's a universe out there where Dallas wins the whole thing.
Okay. I don't disagree with that. So would you say that right now they're the second best team in the West? Would you put them current form? I think they probably are, but like we're talking long term here. Are they better than the T-Wolves in your mind? Are they better than OKC?
It's a really challenging thing. I actually think Minnesota is right there with them because they're staunch defensive abilities. And then also, and I actually wrote about this when they traded for Rudy 2 years ago, it was a bet on Anthony Edwards. The whole move was a bet on Anthony Edwards. Yeah. They were betting that he was going to be an MVP level player, and he's turned into one. And so if he can do in the postseason what he's capable of doing, again, he is very young, with the way they can defend Conley at the point of attack as a quarterback on both ends, the way Rudy's defending McDaniel obviously defensively. I think Chris Finch has done a good job. He also is someone that got some Coach of the Year love from me. He wasn't my main pick, but he's done a good job. Cat is a wild card. They did really well. I think Naz Reid's the best shooting big coming off the bench in the NBA. They've got some firepower with him and alternatives to Cat if he doesn't really have – he's not going to come back at full strength right away. He's been out, I think, 17, 18 games now. So there's going to be some lag there. Naz Reid really kind of helps fill that void. Edwards has to be spectacular for them to win, but that might happen. And OKC, I think SGA is if you exclude Embiid because he missed so many games. We wrote an article I think 2 weeks ago saying SGA was the best player in the world, which he has been. Again, in terms of qualifying for MVP, he's a two-way superstar, not just a one-way superstar. He's played elite level defense. They need Chet to play well as a rookie, but he's got a defined role. He can do that. He can be like a Gafford, except he's more of a three-point shooter than a finisher at the rim like Daniel Gafford is. They kind of win by committee, but one thing to focus on is the way Josh Giddey finished the season. He didn't just shoot better from three. He started taking advantage of his size as a big 6'7", 6'8" guard, and he got buckets for them. I think that's really important because I think teams were going to not guard him in the postseason and clog the lane up to help kind of build a wall against Shea. And you can't do that the way Giddey's been scoring. If he can keep doing that, he's obviously an incredibly elite passer. I think OKC's got a fighter's chance too. Denver just has to play really well, and they'll smoke everyone. They did it last year. It doesn't mean they'll do it this year.
Yeah. David Thorpe, our guest, Coach Thorpe on X on the Progressive Guest Line. He writes for True Hoop, truehoop.com. Check out his article and all his articles up there as well. I subscribe. You should too. Follow the money, Pauly and Mitch Veason. So who is 90 seconds here, Coach? Who is Coach of the Year then? You mentioned SGA MVP, but the jump OKC took. Finch held it down when Towns was out. The job Mosley did in Orlando. Who would you give it to then? Who do you think is going to get it?
Mosley. What I think there was a world that we thought the Thunder could take this big jump because they do have this incredible talent in Shea and then all those lottery picks. Minnesota, they had Edwards and they had Cat and Rudy, and Conley we know is a solid player. Nothing against those coaches at all, but I think what Jamal Mosley did, I don't think anyone expected them to play the defense that they're playing. They have an assistant coach who's a longtime friend of mine named Del Osborne, who kind of runs their defense. I even asked him way back in the November, December, what's happened. He said, Coach Mosley is just giving me the green light to just hammer our guys all the time about our defensive intensity, our preparation, our passion to play, to defend. And Jamal has done it. He's really been terrific. Franz has not had a great shooting year, and Paolo is barely a net positive player for them. He's going to be terrific, but he's just a second-year player, and he's young. And for them to play defense the way they played, then I have to mention Jonathan Isaac, who's probably the best defensive player in the world in his minutes. He's incredible.
Wow, okay. Coach Thorpe's going to hang out for a few more minutes. We're going to get into more awards. I want to have him expand on Shea for MVP. And who is his Defensive Player of the Year? I can't wait to hear this coming up next here on VSiN.
Check out VSiN.com today. Podcasts are always up there. Best bets, betting splits, exclusive articles, betting tools, betting guides. Long shots will be up after the cut later tonight as well. Get up there. Check it out as always, VSiN.com.
We continue with the NBA here as Coach David Thorpe is our guest. The True Hoop podcast, truehoop.com. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. So you made that comment on Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, why you think he's the MVP. You called him a two-way superstar. I totally agree. Can you expand on that, why you think he should win the award this year over Nikola Jokic and also Luka Doncic?
Yes, those guys are incredible players, obviously. But two things. One, his team is super young, talented, but super young. And yet here we are on the last weekend competing for a 1 seed. But the biggest thing, guys, is we have advanced metrics now that account for everything. On-court offense, on-court defense, off-court, how the team's doing without you. All those things are factored in. Embiid was number 2 last year. Jokic has been number 1 3 straight years. He won 2 of those years. He should have won last year. The narratives are what they are. Those metrics, Embiid's blowing everyone out, but he's not qualified. SGA is blowing everyone else out, and then it's Luka. And I think Nicole is 4th. I don't know what the point of metrics are. If we're just going to do the eye test and want to go back to the 1980s, we can do that. But we have these advanced metrics now. We know who's having the biggest impact in games, and it's not like his team is losing. It'd be different if they were a 4 seed, and he was at least then you could qualify some things. No, they're a potential 1 seed in a much stronger conference in the East. Obviously, what Denver's done, and Nicola's incredible. But again, we have these advanced metrics. People spend thousands and thousands of hours putting these things together, and I trust them. And those tell us SGA has been the best player in the league this year amongst people qualified to win the award. He should win the award.
Okay. You mentioned Naz Reid earlier. Is he 6th man of the year?
No. Although, if you voted him that, you're not stupid. I think the best bench in the league in terms of scoring, which is pretty important, benches often struggle to score, are the Indiana Pacers bench, And T.J. McConnell has just been otherworldly for them. He's having a career year, and he's like 29 years old. It's amazing. I even heard LeBron say the other day he's like one of his favorite guys in the league to watch. I happen to watch the Pacers a lot because of, I call their style of play blur ball. And it's just so fast with what they do, and they set a lot of blur screens, blur actions. TJ's been incredible. He's a big part of why that team is competing for, they might even get to a 4 seed, despite it. Other than Siakam and Miles, they're very young. And TJ's a big part of that, so he would be my 6th man of the year.
I thought the most improved is made for guys like Kobe White. Maxey was already a good player. We just did this with Ja Morant. Who's most improved in your eyes?
So honestly, the most improved player this year, I wouldn't give him the award, is SGA, because the jump from elite to world's best player is the hardest jump to make of all, period, end of story.
Okay.
He's made enormous leaps from last year when he was first team All-NBA, but that's never going to win it. I would give it to Jalen Williams, although Kobe White's been great.
Okay.
Jalen Williams was an okay rookie last year. It looked like he had potential. Guys, he's an all-star. He wasn't an all-star, but he's playing like one. He looks like he's got All-NBA potential because of what he's done this year. That jump he's made from being below average last year to one of the best players in the league this year in year 2 on a team that's now competing for a 1 seed, as I said, he would be my pick. Colin Sexton deserved credit. So do a lot of guys. Sexton's made a huge jump, and I'm really proud of that on a team. Otherwise, it's pretty sad in Utah.
Yeah, to me, again, Maxey, and you could see this, right? I mean, once Harden left, you knew that the usage was going to go up and he's going to get a lot more playing time. But in my eyes, Maxey was already a superstar, might be a bit strong, but he was already a really fantastic player in this league with really good numbers.
Yeah, so I never look at raw numbers. I always look at advanced metrics. He's definitely improved in the advanced metrics too. I did Zach Lowe's show last week, and we did this. We did this exact award, and he was on my list. I think he was in my top 11. But the jump Jalen made, and like I said, the jump SGA made. I did last year, 2 years ago. I picked Luka on Zach's show. I picked Luka because he did the same thing. He went from being an elite player to one of the 2 or 3 best players in the world. That's the hardest leap to make of all. And as someone who's in the development business, I respect that a lot.
Do you keep receipts? Do you remember what people were saying in the summer league about Wembanyama and what people said when you said he'll be the best player in the world in a year or two? Because I can't. He's exceeded expectations. He's probably going to be the best player in the league next season, in the second year in the league. This guy, the numbers he puts up every night, and he's going to continue to improve. I remember people saying, "Oh, the Spurs made a mistake because he struggled with his shot in the summer league." I mean, this is what do you think about Wembanyama and moving forward?
So I saw him as a 15-year-old on some clips being really competitive. I thought you don't see that a lot. 7'4", being as competitive as him, that's a good sign. I know his people. I'm not really friendly with his top agent, but I know some of the guys that work with him on the agency side. Super professional, very bright, very serious. I have guys that I work with on the Spurs who are telling me this offseason, he's going to blow your mind, coach. He's doing things that we've never seen before. And it's always funny when you see a player who's never played against him before. I have him take a shot that Victor's going to block it. Victor knows he's going to block it. But this young, 22 or whatever, doesn't realize this guy is something like you've never seen before. It's cute. It's funny. And these guys were telling me he's going to be amazing. They're still figuring out how to best utilize him. They can utilize him some as a Jokic Embiid type. He's a gifted passer, a willing passer also. But what he does defensively alone, and that's the thing I think the average person, it's hard for people to really digest in basketball. The value defense is half the game. We didn't until very recently have the metrics to show that. Very easy in NFL and football. In basketball, it's different. It's not just steals and blocks. We're starting to really get some algorithms, some metrics that we can really trust to best represent what's happening on the other side of the court. And Wemby's impact there is monumental. The team needs to catch up. He's not going to be MVP until the team is top 4 or so in the West. I don't know if that'll be next year without some upgrades at some positions, but I think the foundation's there because of him. And I'm a big fan of Devin Vassell, who also is on my top 11 list for most improved. I think he's Chris Middleton for them. He's going to be a big-time shot maker in the playoffs. He can get shots that he wants off because of his high release and the way he shoots it. And I like Keldon Johnson off the bench for them. I still think they got to replace some other players and add some people. But they've got the assets. They've got draft picks, and they've got money to spend in this offseason.
His steals, blocks, deflections are off the charts. Their numbers are great when he's on the floor. They're lousy when he's off the floor, and how bad they are defensively. Would you give him Defensive Player of the Year?
I would not. Listen, I don't have an official vote. I like to look at overall team construct, not just when you're on the court. And so for that reason, and I look at how many minutes you play and all of that, how many games. He's certainly deserving of it. I get why you give it, but their team isn't very good. I give it to Bam. Their team, I think when I looked before the games last night, they were 6th in the NBA in defense. Bam's played a ton of minutes and a ton of games. They don't have a lot of good defenders around him, and yet they're number 6. And Spoelstra deserves credit that their commitment to defense matters. Bam guards everybody. He's everywhere. He doesn't have to block shots or get steals necessarily. He mucks things up. He gets in the way. It's hard to get easy shots against him. He's a very intelligent player. He takes away what you want to do. And Isaiah Hartenstein's been amazing. AD's been great. SGA's been amazing. I would give it to Bam.
If the Heat get the Celtics in the first round of the playoffs, if that's the 1-8 matchup, they got them last year. Would you give them better than a puncher's chance again this year?
Not really.
No.
Yeah, I think Boston's learned a lot. I think Joe Mazzulla's found a place. Last year, I think he took over the day before camp started. It really wasn't his team. It's his team now. Drew and Derek White, who also is a MIP and DPOY consideration. He's third team All-NBA for me when I did it yesterday on our podcast. I think that the Celtics are a juggernaut. Their net margin, all of their advanced metrics show they're like the Warriors of the 16-17 season that won 67 games and lost one playoff game in their 4 rounds. Boston is built to cruise through this postseason. Doesn't mean they will, but I think that they've got some going on. KP is really important. He's got to be a post presence for them on occasion anyway, because they shoot a lot of threes. They take more threes than anyone, and they have a bunch of great shooters. But they also defend, so they can win games they don't shoot well because their defense, and I think he's going to be big in those games. He has a role to play. He's got to do it. If he doesn't do it, I'll be concerned. But I'm going in. I'm believing that he'll do it.
30 seconds. What kind of pro will Zach Edey be?
He'll be around for a while. I love him. He is to be studied by college coaches and programs for years because of how much he improved. But in the world's best league, I don't think he has the agility and speed or the fitness for that matter. We play much faster in the NBA than they do in most colleges, certainly in the Big Ten. He'll hang around as a third-string guy. Luke Garza from Iowa was amazing. Doesn't ever play in the NBA. I think it's going to be a similar story for Edey. Better than Boban, but not much different than Boban.
All right. Great catching up with you. Awesome analysis as always. TrueHoop.com is the website. The podcast is also the True Hoop Podcast. Coach Thorpe, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate that.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
You
Thanks,
too.
Coach.
You join us on the Progressive Guest Line. We'll recap the betting action from last night and win some, lose some. That's next on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Knicks Celtics over 217.5 up to 221. Jazz 4-1 on the money line. They ended their 13-game losing streak and surprised the Rockets. The Flyers, what was that from the Rangers? They end their 8-game losing streak and beat the Rangers 4-1 plus 170. The Devils plus 175 beat Toronto, and the Sharks plus 220 beat Seattle. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. How about the dog getting the fake haircut and enjoying it? Now he's got the chin up, right? Coming in. Little trim. Got the razor out. Looking good. Not going to really do anything here. But he's
That's
still,
the spot.
Yeah, right. Now again, not cutting anything. Coming in, a little trim. But he's monkey see, monkey do. Little brush, right? Got the brush, the comb, the razor with the fake haircut.
Look good, feel good, clean
Live
me
and
up,
learn.
pal.
That's right. Yep. Awesome creatures. No doubt about it. Good and bad, which we'll get to in a second. So that's the dog getting the fake haircut. How about this? The bear digs a sitting pit to watch his favorite ducks. How good is this? Look at the big fella get in there, right? He just comes in, sits right down. Perfect spot, too. He makes the hole big enough so he can fit his caboose in there. Then he just looks and he can see the ducks in front of him. He just takes it all in. Just a regular day for him. It's going to be that kind of day, yeah. Have a fun day, right? Just come in, look at him dig, and it fits perfectly into his little spot, into his pit, just to watch his ducks. That's awesome. I mean, imagine that's in your backyard. Hey, how you doing?
No,
I bring
I
the guy
can't.
a snack. I throw him something. Get a little popcorn. Enjoy. Right? He's set. That's his day. That's a full day. Good for him. The Masters shop is expected to do $70 million in merchandise sales this week.
$1 million an hour.
Staggering.
Well,
People can't get enough of this tournament.
Every person I've ever talked to has said, when you go to the shop, you're going to want, when you go up to the register, you're suddenly going to have like 27 things. And it's going to be, $600, whatever. Because you need this, you want that. You're never going to be back here again, so you got to have one of those.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, how many thousands of people are going to go through there every single day and not spend money? It's going to happen.
What's the markup like?
Well, on the merchandise,
is that why the menu's so low with the food?
Could be.
Do they? Is it $60 for like a pullover or a fleece or something? Oh, let us know about the prices.
It very well could be, because they would easily get that.
No kidding. You'd pay whatever. Yeah, right. You'd pay $100 for a shirt or whatever.
Yep.
Lose some. Celtics plus 2.5 went off a 3.5-point favorite. They played everybody, but the Knicks buried them and led by 30 until the Celtics made it look respectable with the backups. Now, does that mean anything if they meet in the playoffs? You can't say, hey, Boston played people. Look what the Knicks did. But it comes down to motivation.
Yeah.
But I think that's encouraging for the Knicks. At least Boston put people out there, and the Knicks still had no problems with them on the road.
I don't disagree. I think that can be big. That can give them a shot, in the arm, especially like mentally getting ready for them if they play in the playoffs. Also, I have to question, because of this insurmountable lead they've had in the Eastern Conference for so many weeks, the lack of motivation overall. What are they truly playing for?
Yeah, I'm worried about game one.
Yes.
I'd be worried about game one of the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's fair. I've seen it all now. This is an alligator outside the store. I only in Florida, right? I don't know if he just snuck out or whatever, but the owner goes out to get the alligator, and he's got a T-shirt on too. The alligator has clothes on, and is this what happened? The alligator escaped, and come on, buddy, you belong inside with me. And he goes to get his alligator, and he's got the T-shirt on.
Oh, he's picking it up like it's a puppy.
Right, that's right.
Hey, bud.
Like it's my son. Come on, Tommy. Come back in where you belong. Only in Florida. Jordan got me yesterday. Went and got a massage. I put this on Instagram, by the way. Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Went to get a massage, came home. I go, what's the stuff doing on the floor? Jordan got up, used his paw, knocked over my French dip sandwich and fries and ate it.
Where'd you have it?
On the counter. I'm like, how'd he get up there? I don't know how he got up there, and he's like scooped it. He knocked it down with his paw.
Knocked it off the counter.
Yeah, and then
hit the floor,
went to work on it, right.
And he ate the whole thing? The whole prime?
Half of it.
French dip?
Yeah. Couple fries, half the French dip. Plus, I give him a treat every time I leave the house, too. Boy.
How was he feeling afterwards?
The front porch. He passed out, I know. And he had a big belly. Poor guy. Bad beats. Red Sox, Orioles under 3-3 in the 10th. Shenanigans. Orioles win.
Oh, it's 2-0 late.
9-4 final. That too. Right.
Total shenanigans taking place.
Action-packed fight card taking over Vegas Saturday. UFC 300. Official sports betting partner of the UFC. DraftKings giving new customers a shot to turn $5 into $150 instantly in bonus bets. Any UFC 300 bet. Download the app. Use promo code VISA when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. All right. Great job, fellas. And thanks to all the tweets. They said the markup's fine. Nothing crazy. And we even got a tweet that a guy goes every year, loads up and sells it on eBay and makes a fortune.
Oh, he does? Okay.
What he does, yeah.
All right, good
People
move.
can't get enough of this stuff at Augusta with the merchandise. Tiger's done for the round, one over. So he gave 2 back in the last couple of holes. So he's finished round 1 at 1 over, now tied with Phil for that prop that everyone liked to bet. And a good push here from Homa.
Yep.
Homa's 5 under.
He gave 1 back.
Uh-huh.
But he's now, during this show, he dropped from about, well, this would do it, right? When you gain another stroke in the final few rounds that you have to complete round 1. But he went from 18-1 down to 8-1 and now stabilized at around 9-1 to win this thing. And now basically, right, this is the group now, Pauly. Again, if you really bank on that trend where the last 19 Masters winners have been tied for 10th or better, top 10 or better, going back nearly 2 full decades now, It has a lot of power names on the list. Scheffler, DeChambeau, Homa, Neiman's on there, who's been playing great golf this year. Willie Z qualifies. Højgaard is on that list. Tommy Fleetwood is still on the course as we speak, but he has a chance to finish top 10 for round number 1.
How about Shipley, the amateur? 2 under.
Good
for him.
I did see him go to 3.
I gave one back.
Did he give one back now? Okay.
Okay, the projected cut is 2 over. As of now, here are the players that would miss the cut. Jason Day. What was he wearing?
People were making fun of him all day.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah? Wait, did you see what he's wearing today?
No.
Oh, God.
Is it worse?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Somehow. Yeah, he had like the MC Hammer pants on yesterday. Adam Scott, 4 over. Fowler, 4 over. Matsuyama, 4 over.
Everybody made a case for Matsuyama.
Yep. Woodland, Johnson. Dustin Johnson, 5 over.
Oh, look at Jordan Spieth.
Oh, mama.
Another one. He had a quadruple.
He had a quad.
So he's 7 over?
Is he 9 or 7?
He's 7. So you can forget about that. He's not, if it's 2, so he's going to have to shoot 5 under or better.
That's 83rd. That's tied for 83rd.
Yeah, to make the projected cut. That's basically dead last then, right?
He's almost dead last. Is it Malnati? Malnati's 10 over.
Okay. Yeah, nobody was going to catch him.
Brian Harmon, 7. What happened?
Yep.
What happened to that guy? What? I thought he was 1 under.
He was.
What did he do?
So he must have had a triple or something. Jordan Spieth
my God, the
shot
back
a 9.
Look at he had a 9. Okay. Here's what Harmon did on the back 9. Bogey, double, triple, double.
Oh.
He went double, triple, double in 5 holes.
So is that 10? Is that 10 under in 5 holes? Is that 2 triples you said?
9. He went 9 under. Or 9 over.
9 over, yeah.
9 over. Oh, my God. I didn't even see that. This is wild. So that's where you're at with the guy. And I'm sure DJ was a big price, too, just to miss it. Those are some big names there, and a lot of them don't even have a chance. Not even a chance.
Does anybody on the list stand out that you want to add that you might not have?
No, I think it's a Scheffler Invitational.
I hope you're right.
I don't want to add anybody. This isn't fair. The guy's off to this start. I understand there was a lot of scrambling, and he pulled a rabbit out of his hat a couple times with birdie situations, but for him to be 6 under, and you would think DeChambeau falls off. There's just there's nothing there for him.
I wonder if I'm wondering here.
Maybe add more Neiman.
I'm not betting Rory. Not going to do it. Will's got a great history here. He reached 4 under at one point yesterday, gave a couple back. Maybe he can make a run at it. I want nothing to do with Xander. Can't do it. Sorry. Been there, done that too many times.
Yep, regretting that already.
Rahm's 35. It was not a great opening round for him.
Nope.
He's really got to track down the man at the top. Well, he's not at the top technically, but the best player in the world, Scottie Scheffler. He's got to track him down. All these guys got to play catch up now. Hovland was there for the taking. He was 4 under through 9. The very next hole. This is too easy. I got to give a couple back.
Koepka, bang, birdie. Needed that. 1 over for the tournament. Okay. Koepka's got to get something going here.
So we'll run down our best bets for today and the weekend with in-pocket plays coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
On coke if his girlfriend was not stuck.
These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your children's unborn children on these games.
I was so good that whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
2 games left in the NBA. Everyone plays tonight. Everyone plays Sunday. This is an enormous game late. Warriors money line, $1.80 against the Pelicans. Golden State, Sacramento, and the Lakers all have the same record. Pelicans on a back-to-back tough spot. I'll trust the Warriors to get it done. And a lot on the line here. To move up, to maybe get the 7. You want to at least get the 8. You definitely don't want to be the 10. So I think the Warriors win tonight against the Pelicans. Hurricanes in regulation to beat St. Louis. Bad job by the Rangers. The door's open now.
What a loss that was.
They could blow this division. They were huge favorites not that long ago. They lose at home to the Flyers, who had lost 8 in a row and were coming off a 9-3 drubbing at Montreal. They lost 4-1. It's also last call for the Blues, too, but I think Carolina gets it done in regulation. That's the new. And then the pending, Peterborough United up and at 'em tomorrow, right? Get to that in a second. Shoffley to win, 14-1, bye-bye. Mickelson, top senior, $1.40, love it. Top debutante, Aubert, plus 275, looks good. Top Asian, Matsuyama, bye-bye, plus 140, no good, he's 4 over. Hole in one, Sunday, plus 110. Top live golfer, Koepka, 6-1. And Peterborough United, League One, they're on a 34-5 overrun. Any competition when the total's over 2.5. And they play Oxford United tomorrow, and the over's $1.60. Let's go get it again with Peterborough tomorrow.
All right, pending, hold on. Last night, and some golf graded bets here. Knicks money line against the Celtics, that got there.
I was encouraged. I liked it. Listen, they played people.
Yeah,
they played
they
people.
Don't care, though. They don't care.
I still liked it. I was encouraged.
I'm a little
30 on them.
I'm going to be concerned about the Celtics picking it back up.
Yeah.
From having such a big lead down the stretch and not caring about these games.
Yeah, they're a fade game one. I agree.
Grayson Rodriguez, 7+ Ks, did not get there. He only had 5 last night. That was a loser. And then the first round leader bets for smaller units, Scheffler, Xander, Lowry. Scheffler gave me tons of hope. Once he got that one in, I think at 12 from the bunker and chipped it in, I'm looking at, he's got 6 holes left here, only a couple, he can do this. And then the putts on 18, and then I think it was the eagle putt on 15 that he had. That's the one concern. If this comes down to a putting contest, you can't have faith in this guy winning it. If some guy's right, we're there with him. So those were losers. That would have been a nice one to pick up with Scheffler. Adding today, got to follow ER on this one, and this is like following the money here. When we started the show, Bulls were favorites. No longer the case. As of right now, Wizards, best you can find, and it's at a national sports book. Wizards money line -112 against Chicago. They're in the 9-10. By the way, that number's up at DraftKings.
Great job, Johnny.
There's a 9-10 number up there, 2.5-point favorite against the the Hawks.
Hey, Mitch.
And then breakdown here.
What do you want to do there? What do you want to? You want to lay it? Trust the Bulls?
I would say that if Kentucky did not fill their job last night, I'd go the other way.
Yeah.
All you had to do was wait.
Good call.
All you had to do is wait for that game. Maybe they lose that game. You could have Billy Donovan potentially. No, Mark Pope.
Kentucky just hired a guy who's never won a game in the tournament. He's been a coach for 9 years. I can't get over that. I want the Bulls if Trae Young's back. Worst defense in the league with Trae Young. 21st
totally
without.
Fair. Yeah. Totally fair. Well, I think we asked Coach Thorpe off air, that was not on air, if the Spurs
it was off air, yeah.
should trade for Trae Young. And he immediately said absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because it's going to make it more difficult for Wemby to defend down low because he's just such a negative defender. You need to add positive guys out on the perimeter defensively. And I'm going to start to do this a little bit more often this year in baseball. We'll see how it goes. I'll make it smaller unit bets. I'm going to go Nolan Jones, stolen base for the Rockies tonight against Kevin Gossman. It's plus 360. Now, Jones is off to a horrific start. He's batting 157. The OPS, the slugging, not there. His BABIP is only 286. His WRC plus is 24 as we stand. As you can imagine, he's off to a career worst start. He's only been in the league for a couple years. However, he's striking out 40.4% of the time. That's 10 points higher than his highest number ever. So he's going to have some positive regression. And why not tonight against Kevin Gossman? It's been a very small sample size. He's reached base both times that he's faced Gossman in his career, and he has 2 stolen bases off of him. He had 20 last year in 106 games. Gossman allowed 23 stolen bases the past 2 years with a percentage allowed of 85.2%. I'll go Nolan Jones, smaller bet, plus 360 tonight, stolen base.
Will you join me tomorrow and add unders in the UFC? I disagree with Luke Thomas.
You might be onto something.
I think this is a big deal. I think these guys are going to be swinging the whole card, with the exception of what he said with the major fights with title implications, okay? I think these people will be swinging for the fences knowing It's $300,000 now for fight bonuses. I think that's a big deal.
So that's what now, 6 times what it used to be? Is that correct? Was it 50,000 before?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a major jump.
Some of these guys only make 20,000 a fight. 30,000, 40. Now I can make 300,000 if I get a highlight reel knockout or KO or submission.
Yeah, think about that. Forever.
Or if it's a great fight, I can have an agreement with you. Mitch,
Sure.
Hey, let's just come out and swing for 3 rounds and get fight of the night. Well, we can whack it up.
When you're taking that big of a jump from 50 to 300, that is that's life-changing money for a lot of people. So, maybe you got something here.
Limited time. We're offering 2 weeks of our exclusive betting splits for free. VSiN.com/splits. It's updated with DraftKings odds every 5 minutes. You can check out future events as well. Find out where the public's betting based on the number of tickets or where the money doesn't match the public opinion. Limited time offer. VSiN.com/splits. VSiN.com/splits. Good job, guys. Let's go back not even a week. Well, Brad Stevens. Well, we're going to get Hurley. Well, we're going to offer him so much money he can't say no. You don't say no to Kentucky. We're going to get Billy Donovan. Well, Scott Drew will take the job. Mark Pope.
What an uninspiring hire.
Oh.
At this time, again, if you hear no from every other possible candidate, and you just run the list, and they're like, nope, happy here, sorry, can't do it, no interest, too much pressure, don't want to follow Cal, fine. Then you go to Mark Pope. You're not even a week into the process. Hey, welcome into our new head coach, Mark Pope.
Yikes. 2 things here before we get out of here.
Maybe it works, but
okay.
you could have just...
I also will say maybe they put feelers out to Donovan. He said, I'm good. That's also possible. I have to go back to this, and I agree with it. The most anticipated golf event of the year, and we still can't figure out how to broadcast the whole tournament. No TV coverage till 3 p.m. every day is insane. Without a weather delay yesterday, you'd have missed the entire first round of Scheffler, McIlroy, Rahm, Matsuyama, Thomas, Schauffele, Mickelson, Finau, DeChambeau, Fowler, Hovland, and Clark. What are we doing? And as the guy points out, this is the equivalent of the Super Bowl broadcast starting 4 minutes into the third quarter, and the World Series start at the top of the 6th. They're not all like, everyone's not like a junkie. Like, you're not, 80% of the people aren't going to ESPN Plus or looking at an app and all this stuff.
Yep.
It's silly. It's silly how they do this. Oh, the app is great. You go, look, yeah, the app is great. But there's no reason to do this. It's all about Augusta and their doing and the allure and the mystique. And it's just laughable how they do this every year.
I know. For this event, everything's televised nowadays. And this is the biggest one of the entire year. And no, sorry. We have certain criteria, and we're not going to allow you to watch. Right? You got to struggle to find it. Mm-hmm. We're not going to make it easy for you.
Yep.
How about yesterday, with everything that happened?
Oh,
the Ohtani update with the interpreter and how bad it was for him and how big of a massive gambling problem he had or has. Then O.J. Simpson dies like 20 minutes after our show ends. The family had to send out a tweet from his Twitter account. And 30 years ago, you said this earlier, you think it's about 4 or 5, like, where were you moments in our lifetime, and he was responsible for 2. And how long was that span? We went from the Bronco chase in 94, the verdict was in the summer of 95, was it not?
Mm-hmm.
So in about a year, that guy gave us 2 where were you moments. If you were alive, you're never going to forget it.
95 million people watched the Bronco chase. The NBC was televising the NBA Finals with the Knicks, and they cut away from the game and went split screen. Huh.
That was can we call it the most surreal? Well, not including 9/11. The most surreal, news story to follow of our lifetime.
Then the trial was a game changer. That started 24-hour news and all this other stuff and carrying the trial, and then all the superstars and people that became famous because of it, and what that led to.
Yep. And
I mean, the trial.
The judge was a total embarrassment.
Oh, sure. We used to work with a guy, he was a program director. They carried the trial on radio and had great ratings.
Well, they had to. It was a no-brainer back then. Everybody was obsessed with it.
No one could get, it was daily updates, nothing. What did Marsha Clark wear? Oh, look at her hair. Yep. Oh, the glove didn't fit.
Best of luck betting the Masters. Stay tuned. A numbers game is next. You can listen at vsin.com.